This piece of meat is valued at $10,000. It is one of the most exclusive capital-intensive cuts of beef on the planet. And today I'm going to be cooking that up against the cheapest steak I can find. So let's hit the road and see what we can find for $1. I don't see any freezers here, which I feel like if there are steaks here, best case scenario, they're in a freezer. Do you all have any like frozen items? No, here, okay, all right, thank you. Well, Dollar Tree was a bust. They say they have no frozen items. There's a Kroger up the sidewalk that I'll try. I don't know how far my dollar is going to go here though. Let's see. Where would you say the cheapest steaks would be?
Cheapest?
Is there like a clearance section or something?
Yeah, we got it.
Oh, okay.
Probably got one down there,
Probably gonna be over here somewhere.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you got it here. All the snakes.
All right. Appreciate you. So this expires today, 7/15. This different color too. I don't know. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I think. $5 beef wrap filet. All right, I believe this is cheapest steak in Kroger. Thank goodness it was not this. Got the bag. How's it going? Okay, now we're back in the kitchen. I'm gonna cook up this tenderloin filet from Kroger, $5. I mean, it's tenderloin, it's gotta be good, right? I'm a firm believer that if the meat is actually good, you don't have to add a bunch of seasoning to it. If you're really struggling, I think you can add some salt and pepper, but I think we're just gonna go straight up here. How's that possible? I just cut the top off, but absolutely unopenable. Yeah, that's why they had to put it on sale, because nobody could figure out how to open it. That's probably what happened. I hope we're editing this out. This is low-key embarrassing. There we go. There she is. Interesting color. Not bad. I don't know if I mentioned it is bacon wrapped. So, for $5, man, that's got a good thickness to it. I'll be honest. It's got some kind of a probe in it too, but look at that. Not bad, not bad. Let's see what we can do with it. Is that normal? Oh, maybe you cook it with it in there? All right. So what I'm gonna try and do with this is take advantage of that bacon and just kind of cook on the side a little bit to get a little bit of that bacon fat off. Maybe don't use your hands. All right. We're getting some of that, we're getting some of that fat off the bacon. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is gonna be awesome. Nice. We got bacon and we got filet mignon. How does it get better? I don't know. I mean, the backstory of this meat, didn't know it personally, but I'm assuming probably just a normal industrial feedlot. Probably grass-fed to begin with, as they all are, but it's probably grain finished. That's how you get all that crazy amount of fat in there really quickly, is just by grain finishing. A lot of that kind of stuff is subsidized too, so that's why these things can be cheaper. Never cooked one of these before, so I'm gonna pull it off, throw it on a plate, cut it open, see if it's looking like it's cooking. See. I don't think there's any way it should be cooked, because that was like not super long. We're looking to see if it's done cooking, as they say. Okay, it's kind of cooking. It's kind of cooking. Let's wrap that bad boy back up. All right, let's put this over here. I'm also kind of curious how you can have bacon and filet mignon in a package together for $5. That's interesting, because somebody had to take the filet mignon and take the bacon and wrap it. I mean, that packaging had to have been $5 alone. That thing was hardcore. I'm impressed, Kroger. I am impressed. Also, pro tip, just realized you don't have to have it all the way on high. That's probably why the grease was tearing me up. We're cooking here right about, well, never mind. I'm on medium and it's popping now again. Forget it. Just gotta man up. Take one for the team. Gotta take one for that 1% of you that subscribe. Appreciate you guys. The rest of y'all, I mean, thanks for watching. I'll say that. Good night. That looks good. I know that's not supposed to be what I'm saying about the cheaper steak. I'll be the first to tell you, this was not supposed to be that good. That was kind of the point of the video, and maybe I messed up getting tenderloin. Take a look at this. 5 George Washingtons. That's what I'm talking about. That's gonna be hard to beat. So look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this rest, and I'm going to uncover the $10,000 steak. Here it is, boys and girls. Look at that, $10,000 steak. That's a New York strip cut right there. Let's see what we can do. So again, I'm not gonna add any seasoning. I did put a little oil down for this because this is a far leaner cut. I wanna make sure you're getting that. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for like 2 minutes, and then I'll flip it and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, 2 minutes is up. Oh man, let me show you what we're looking at. I don't know, I think that looks really good. I might be biased because this is such an expensive steak. However, I'm also a little nervous because this is such an expensive steak. Looks really good. According to AI, the best way to cook this is to go really hot on both sides for 2 minutes. Then to drop it down about medium on the stovetop and just let it low and slow for, I think it said 4 minutes on each side. But I'll just keep checking it. One thing about this type of steak is that it's very lean. And I'll get to more on that later. That's part of the reason why it's so expensive. But it's very lean. So the meat itself is supposed to be extraordinarily tender. And because of that, you don't have to have much fat on this. You'll also probably notice, or we're supposed to, that it doesn't cook down as much as you're used to. So that other one went from this all the way down to just a couple small pieces. This is supposed to stay roughly the same size the whole time. We'll see. I'm coming up on that 2 minute mark. Not exactly there yet, but I do want to lay it on the side where there's fat and try to render some of that out. There's not much, but there's that backside. So this is a New York strip cut. We're going to go over on the side a little bit. You getting a lot of smoke? Got a feeling that's probably not the goal. All right, so I'm going to drop this down a little more. It's cooking, literally. Probably even going to slide this over, let this cool down. And then I'm just going to try and low and slow this thing until it's cooked all the way through. Okay. Well, I'll be honest, man. I'm really happy with the amount of fat in this. This is supposed to be a very lean cut. However, it's got just enough fat on the back. It's a New York strip cut that when I lay it on the side, I can render that down and it looks so good. I'm afraid though of overcooking it, so I'm gonna pull it off. I'm gonna slice it open and see how we're doing. All right, let's see what we got here. Go right down the middle. I feel like that's probably not the way to do it, but it's my YouTube channel. Haha. Yes, sir. I like that. I'm going to be honest. I like that. I'm going to let it rest. I'm going to try it out here in just a few minutes. While that's resting, I think it's time to try out this $5 Kroger steak. And I'll be honest, this turned out better than I thought it would. So this may not be as easy a comparison as I was hoping. All right, let's try it out. $5 Kroger bacon wrapped filet mignon. Honestly, it's pretty good. I'm getting a lot of bacon in this piece. I mean, it looks decent, but I really can't taste the steak for the bacon. I guess it's just covered in bacon juice. This is a bigger piece. Hopefully we get some more beef from this one. There's something there that maybe shouldn't be there. In my mind, I know it's a cheaper steak. Something's a little, maybe chemically. Could also be in my mind. I'm totally open to that suggestion, and maybe that's why they wrap it in bacon. I mean, honestly, if you put a little seasoning on this, you probably would not taste that different. It's not as bad as I thought. It's really not. For $5, it's not as bad as I thought. Especially if you're going to put some seasoning on it, or if you're going to really lean into that bacon taste. Kroger might be onto something, I'll be honest. I was really coming into it hoping, low-key, that it would be a stark contrast, and maybe it still is, but for as good as this is, it's going to be hard to beat. The other steak is almost done resting. As soon as it is, I'm going to pull that back here. We're going to find out if $10,000 is worth it. All right, pretty excited to try this. Let's see, $10,000 steak. Now it did cook down a little bit. I was under the impression it wasn't going to cook down at all. However, it cooked down a little bit. I think I'm going to slice it up some. See if it cooked all the way through. I think it did. It smells absolutely amazing in my house right now. Although it's a little smoky, I'll say that. I have no idea if this is how you cut a steak. This is how I cut a steak. Look at that. All right, let's see. Totally different. Totally different. I don't know how to explain it. When I was looking up reviews of this type of beef, someone told me it reminded them kind of like wild game. I would say that's probably the closest thing I can think of. It's got this like natural taste to it. Oh, it's so good. Let me show you this. That is unbelievable. It's got its own taste. I mean, that really is, I think, the safest way to say it. I feel like for the first time, if you were to put sauce on this, it would be like putting sauce on cheesecake. Like, why are you putting A1 sauce on cheesecake? Cheesecake has its own taste. I feel like that about this steak. It is so good. The other one had some hints of things, but like I could taste the bacon over the steak because there was just no taste. It's kind of like the whole everything tastes like chicken concept. However, this has its own distinct flavor, and it's so good. So, did I actually spend $10,000 on this steak? Well, the answer is yes. Actually, I did. Why do I think it's worth $10,000? Well, because I know the backstory of this. The owner of the company that sells this steak is a cancer survivor and decided that he wanted the absolute purest form of beef that he could from a health standpoint. Also, along that route, he found out that this breed, which is Holstein, which was previously known for dairy only, is actually exceptionally good when it comes to beef. So he mixed Holstein with grass-fed, grass-finished beef and made grass-fed, grass-finished Holstein beef, which is supposed to be the highest nutritional value, while also being extremely tender and having a really distinct natural taste. Also, I'm him. My company is Calhoun Livestock, and I have literally spent over $10,000 perfecting this. I believe it's probably the best steak in the world. It's most certainly the healthiest steak in the world, because this stuff does not get any steroids, any weird stuff. It's literally cows on grass, drinking spring water, and being moved all the time. It's true, I did do this because I'm a cancer survivor, and I do want to have the purest food that I can get, because nutrition is very important to me. And I do have a ton of beef in my freezers. So if you guys want to help me pay for this $10,000 steak, you can go to CalhounLivestock.com and order some for yourself. Also, a portion of every sale goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. They saved my life a few times, and I'm going to give back however I can. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. That is so good.